Hello. How do you rank your longevity in your priorities?
Longevity, this is talking about staying alive for as long as possible. And of course, I mean, I want to live.
Oh, like how do you rank?
Got it. How do I personally, that's the way it was, the question is actually directed at me. Jocko Willing question for the podcast. How do you rank your longevity in your priorities? Longevity being how long are you going to live for? And for me, I mean, obviously longevity has some level of importance. I do want to live for a little while longer, but and I think that generally my lifestyle and my focus on health and fitness in a broad way align with living for a little longer. So, working out and all that stuff is good, but there's also an extreme, and I don't know if you know this, I don't know how much you know about this or if you've ever read about it, but there's an extreme side of longevity, of trying, if your goal in life was to live as long as possible, there's an extreme version of that. Do you know about this?
I don't know. How so?
Well, one of the biggest things is you do calorie restriction. Massive calorie restriction.
Yeah.
You're talking like massive calorie restriction. And that's one of them. And believe it or not, you do extremely low levels of physical activity.
Yeah.
Right? You basically, if your goal was to live as long as possible, you would want to live basically in a bubble.
Yeah.
And do nothing.
Yeah.
But eat very little and just lay there.
Yeah.
No jiu-jitsu. No surfing, no lifting heavy weights, none of that stuff. Now, when you're in that mode of longevity, pure longevity, you are not prepared for anything in the actual world, right?
Yeah.
Because your heart can only beat so many times, and if the less you use it, the longer it's going to be lasting. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure I have that not quite right. But the problem is if you're not in good shape, when you get surprised, your heart can't handle it. That's the kind of people that have heart attacks. Their heart can't handle all this madness when it comes. Yeah. So I'm not going there. It's not worth it for me to live my whole life as a sedentary person, half-starved and completely unprepared for anything to happen to me outside of my bubble is not happening. I'm not going to live that way. Mm-hmm. So where does it rank in my priorities? I think it's an important thing, but I think my general lifestyle aligns with it enough that I don't think about it as much. And I think overall, living life is more important to me than just living.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Gotta live life.
What if like a magic wizard guy says, I'm the, gatekeeper of your whole life, whatever. Your life and death situation. He's a Grim Reaper. That's who he was. Mm-hmm. And he said, I know when you're going to die. You can't help it. I just know the future, whatever. Mm-hmm. I will give you 20 extra years. Right now, you're, 40-something years old. Mm-hmm. The day you're going to die, whenever that is, I can't tell you that. Maybe 90, maybe 80, whatever. But I'll give you 20 more years of fully functional life. But you gotta stop doing jiu-jitsu right now. You can never do it ever again.
I'd probably choke him out. Next question.
But otherwise, you'd be just as functional. You can lift, you can surf, you can get after it in every other way. Just no jiu-jitsu. No martial arts in any way.
Oh, you know what? I would double leg him, and then I would pass his guard, and then I would choke him.
Dang.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense.
And I'd take his sickle.
Yeah.
And I'd free the world.
So a jiu-jitsu free life is not life. That's what you're saying.
I think the minute you start restraining yourself from doing things that you want to do, you would need to take serious considerations in what you're doing. Yeah. I also think that hypothetical questions like that are completely ridiculous.
No, they're not. They're mental exercises.
So that's why. And then in that case, I will stay with my first answer.
Yeah, I agree.
If the Grim Reaper came to me and made me an offer, I would double leg him. I would take him down and I would choke him out.
There you go.
I might kill him.
Yeah.
I might kill death.
All right. Yeah, there you go. See? Boom. And you can't do that without jiu-jitsu. So as far as the double leg and choking someone out. So back to your, how you say, the longevity thing. I did know about that actually.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because that's a lot of things. Like if you want to be the safest you possibly can in life, right? Same thing. You're just going to live in a bubble with no threats of any disease, sterilized bubble, no murders, no car accidents, no nothing. Never drive, never do anything. The same thing. Bro, you'll be so safe. You'll be the safest person in the world, really.
Yeah.
But as far as quote unquote living life, you go one day out in the wild, oh, you're dead. Same thing. Like if you restrict all your calories, no hard physical activity, no sun, all this stuff. The moment you go to everyday life, which is physical in some less ways than before, but still physical. There's sun. There's danger. When you go out there, you're dead. Oh, that's
right, sun. Right.
So it's like all or nothing. Yeah.
Just take vitamin D pills.
Yeah.
The other thing is with calorie restriction is I think, and I'm reading about this stuff all the time, but you can get a lot of those benefits by doing some intermittent fasting.
Yeah, fasting
for sure.
Yeah.
And you will feel good on the intermittent fasting. You know, 24, 48, 72 hours. That's the most I've done. And maybe I'll do some more in the future. Tim Ferriss did like 7 days.
Dang.
Which actually, I don't know, man. Yeah,
but that almost goes into a whole.
Honestly, when I did 72 hours, the last time I did it, same thing. Yeah. I've done it a couple times now. Every time I feel fine.
Yeah,
I don't feel any of this stuff that people talk about.
Yeah, well, yeah. So, this is almost.
Did I feel hungry for a little while?
Yeah,
but I wasn't like, oh God,
right?
I wasn't gonna die. No.
Yeah, you were.
No.
But you're talking about a whole different thing now.
You know what? People are going to say, people are going to ask on the interwebs to talk more about intermittent fasting. Yeah. No, don't ask me. There's like actual research out there.
Yeah.
Go and Google it, look up intermittent fasting and read about it. Don't ask me. I'm the wrong person to ask.
Yeah.
Ask smart people.
Yeah. And again, the intermittent fast, like if you're talking about
I just preempted 10,000 questions on Twitter.
Oh yeah,
because it's true. Don't ask me. Google it and look at these really good research papers. There's all kinds of stuff coming out about it right now. Now, what's weird about the internet and science in general is there's one article that says it's great. You can find 2 more articles that say it's horrible, and you can find 3 more articles. So you can always counter everything.
Yeah,
although
not to split hairs, but that's not necessarily about science in general. It's more about a specific person's
viewpoint
based on what they've
for sure
arrived at
for sure.
And especially with diet and health, it's so ambiguous and so adaptable and stuff like that. So, but if you're talking about fasting, that's you're talking about something different. Like people fast for a specific reason, or even a kind of a general reason, but it's like fasting alone isn't going to make you achieve whatever it is you're doing. It's a complete, just like lifting. Like with lifting, you need nutrition, you need rest, you need all this stuff for a specific results. And then there's all kinds of different lifting, so you can't just be like, oh yeah, I want bigger muscles, so I'm just going to lift. That's it. No nutrition, I'm not going to eat at all. Or no rest, I'm not going to rest at all. So the point there is when you go trying to live as long as you possibly can, it's like you have to, like, that has to be the objective, just to live. Everything else is out the window. So I agree with you. I don't think that that's living necessarily.
I don't think there's too many people that are just on the full-on longevity gig.
Yeah,
but there are some.
Yeah, I know one. Not going to mention his name.
Jack. I guess it'd be your little secret.